Hello and good evening, my name is Morgan, and I bid you all welcome back to Risen. This episode we're checking out the Eastern Temple that Fincher has men exploring at the moment. And this is going to be a bit of an unusual episode. I actually didn't take the time to make notes for this one because I have a bit of a busy week. So odds are I wouldn't get this video out in time if I took a day to do that. It's not really essential that I get a video out every week, but I kind of don't want to kill the pace now. Anyway, you should remember where this temple is. The map shows it if you don't. Why camera, why sign? And it's... well, look at him go. It's gonna be a pretty straightforward episode, this one. There isn't really a whole lot of ways to get lost here. But yes, we found the entrance to the temple while playing as a dansman. And got the three triplet brothers to start excavating it. That didn't happen while we are a mage. But the same guys ended up in the same place. And as you can see, the way is now open, which it was not before. But nobody's standing outside, so hopefully all's well inside. Well, here's a living, breathing man.
Hey, you. Watch where you're going. This ruin is really dangerous.
Calm down. Tell me what's happened.
This whole thing has been a total fiasco. Disaster. Fincher said, go to the Eastern Temple, bring back what you find. So, a group headed into the ruin here, but nobody's come back out of the place. Gold be damned. If I'd known it was lethal, I never would have volunteered.
Well, what'd you expect in a deep, dank ruin? Especially since it's well known by now that horrible things come crawling out of these.
How many of you are there?
6. 3 fighters and 3 treasure hunters. One of the treasure hunters fell through the trapdoor over there. The fool. I told him, look out, you idiot, and... he was gone. The others went through the passage back there. Haven't heard from any of them since. They were supposed to stay in touch. They were supposed to let us know what's happening.
So why haven't you done anything about it?
I was ordered to stay here to guard the entrance.
By whom?
Danilo, my boss. Fincher, the Don's bodyguard, ordered Danilo not to return to the camp until there isn't a crumb of gold left in the Eastern Temple. I knew there'd be trouble. He can't even keep his people together.
You said one of the treasure hunters fell through a trapdoor.
Yes. I thought these guys were experts. He went through over there. I wouldn't go after him, though. You might not come back out.
And what if the men down there need help?
My job is to stand guard, nothing else. I have to do what I'm told.
Yeah, you're a real hero.
You want to be a hero, be my guest. I'm staying here as ordered.
You do that, buddy.
I'll let Danilo know that you want to go.
No. No. If you tell him that, he'll think I'm scared. Just tell him everything's all right here.
First, I'll have to find him.
Do that. I'll wait up here.
Well, at least I know you're watching my back.
Yeah, he's guarding the place just fine, letting us walk in totally unintroduced.
What have you found in the ruins so far?
Not much. Some gold. But the passages go deep into the mountain. Who knows what's waiting down there? I've got a really bad feeling about this building.
All right. I'll go in and find out what happened.
Be careful. There's just one of you, and a group of fighters has already disappeared.
Indeed, I shall be as careful as I... oh. Well, darn, it's almost like I completely forgot he told me about that. And look who it is.
What happened to you?
I'm an idiot. I was working away in the wall with my pickaxe, hacking away like a madman I was. Bit of the wall came down, went to dodge it, and fell through into here. Idiot. Idiot I am.
Don't worry. I'll find an exit.
Well, if you don't, you'll be starving to death with me.
Good point. Have you tried looking for a way out?
Well, I tried, but when I got close to that collapsed passage over there, I heard some very strange noises. Whatever's down there, there's more than one. I was hoping someone would come and help me out.
Well, I suppose that someone happened to be me.
Have you seen your brothers? How are they?
I've no idea. They went into the temple with the others. This isn't good. I've seen a lot of temples in my time, but there's something distinctly wrong about this one. And then there's those noises.
Indeed. Well, if you want somebody to help you, you gotta start helping yourself. Yet, there's no option to have you come along with me. We have to clear the path ourselves. What strange noises he's hearing are of the ghouly sort. Bear in mind, I think there's 2 ghouls here. So, really gotta lay into them. Okay, maybe not. Just the one. We only take 4 magic bullets at this point. But we also can only endure 4 slaps of theirs.
Gotta start again. Did it.
Another stone plate. Okay, I could have sworn there was a second one. But it appears not. Once we open the gate out here, using this here contraption here, we can go back and get Dirk. Now the funny thing about this, it always bugged me. A winch would be used to pull a portcullis up, and then you'd release the brake to let it drop. Because obviously, you know, you kind of want the failsafe of a gate to be closed, not open, so that it stops people getting in. So the idea that you release the brake and the winch, some kind of like, it releases some kind of counterweight that opens the gate is kind of ass backwards. Oh yeah, we can open this as well. I'm not sure, I'm curious. Never occurred to me, but I guess we can use the autosave for this. If you can somehow interact with that through the fence, through the gate, using a telekinesis. Alas, you cannot. Suppose you could try sneaking through there with a Nautilus spell? Actually. Oh ho ho! Yeah ho ho! Is this a way? It is a way. Yo! Behold. If you don't want to deal with a stupid ghoul, there's your option. I never knew about that.
I've opened up a way out.
Really? Thanks. I'll be sure to watch my footing next time. Here, take this. It's a bust I found down here. There's some distinctive notches in the base. I think it must be part of a mechanism. Might come in handy someplace further inside this temple. Well, I've had more than enough excitement for one day. I'm out of here. You coming?
I ain't coming, but I'm going. A bust, you say? Found this bust in the Eastern Temple. Well, I didn't find it. It was handed to me. It's got a strange visage. Curious to know what that represents. He will slowly walk his way back to the camp. Bear in mind, since he's not with you, anything he fights, you know, he will not share the XP for. Plus, you could very easily kill him if you're not ahead of the curve. So we'll clear the way on our own. this ends up leading us through the eastern swamp.
Here's some more ore.
Which is a bit of a disappointing place, if I'm being honest. I mean, yes, they already had one swamp. But it's kind of a shame that this place doesn't really have more going on. It's just a big old swamp. There's not really a whole lot to see here. Well, let's just make sure his path is clear so we don't run into problems. Yep, pretty simple. So he's just gonna head up that way and back to the campfire. But while we're here, why don't we just see what's going on? There are some enemies to kill, of course. But in terms of loot, I don't really remember there being much exciting.
This lock is too difficult.
Whoops. Okay, well there's a health bonus potion, so that ain't bad. Strength bonus root. Some boggers. Okay, here's something.
I need more mana.
Uh-oh. I'm starting to think that this is a cave I actually never found before. How much you want to bet? Another rune that I didn't believe exists can be found down here. Honestly, it is not unlikely that this is something I found in the streams I did back in the day, but because it was something I'm not used to exploring, I've completely forgotten about it. That tends to be how my brain do. War cricket. Got some mineage, a skeleton. And that appears to be completely it. All this for one singular iron ore vein.
This could be useful.
How exciting. Alright, so that's probably why I never remembered it. I get the distinct impression that this was a place they had slightly more ideas for and did not implement any of them because of time. Someone had a camp here. It's always weird to me when it's like a common thing in fantasy RPGs. You just see campfires out in the wilderness.
This lock is too difficult.
Burning away, even though there's no evidence that anyone's been there anytime recently, and these things would completely burn down in a matter of hours without somebody to maintain it. Okay, well, that's a complete lap of the place, so let's get back to the camp. Or to the temple and keep looking for the other brothers.
I'm tired of talking.
Hey, where did you come from?
I found a second exit.
Right. What about the treasure seeker?
I found him too.
You've got a talent for this. Did you find Danilo?
Not yet, but I'm looking.
You take your time, don't you? I want to get out of here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Well, I had to go find a whole other way out of there. Pardon me if I didn't head down the stairs. I should have considered that I needed more light spells to get down here. Or, as I don't need them, but it's handy for you watching folk.
Halt! Who goes there?
Pull yourself together. How are you going to fight if you're scared?
Scared? Do you have any idea what's going on? The temple's collapsing. It could go completely at any moment. There's something big, something terrible going on under the earth.
I mean, the earth do be quaking.
Where's your leader?
Danilo? I haven't seen him for ages. He went down the passage over there with that crazy treasure seeker, but they haven't come back. If you ask me, they're both dead.
I'll look for Danilo. You stay here. Breathe deep and stay calm.
Yeah. Not even the Geiger could make me go deeper into that ruin.
Well, he especially can't do it now because he dead. Oh, one brother stayed alive. Or stayed out of trouble, it seems.
How's the work going?
Glad to see you. We've been having trouble.
Where are your brothers?
Dirk's at the temple entrance. He's all right. But Ulf's disappeared. He went down that passage over there with the fighters.
Calm down. I'll find Ulf.
I'm sure you'll find him. But I want you to find him alive.
What have you found here so far?
Some gold. Nothing too amazing. The only interesting thing is that altar. It seems to be connected with the grid over there through a mechanism of some sort. It's been made using techniques I don't recognize. Whoever built this place knew what they were doing.
Indeed. Why don't we take a gander at that before we go any further? Now, this being a very visible altar in the direction he was saying, might throw you for a loop. I think the first time I played this, I was trying to figure out what I was meant to do with this. He's not talking about that, he's talking about this one. And what do you think we do with this and the bust that Dirk gave us? There it is. Somehow this bust looks a lot less detailed here, with a lot fewer polygons than it did in the inventory menu.
Bad idea.
You're not allowed to take it back. But you can just put random objects on here, which is kind of funny. Which you are allowed to take back. But I feel like there's a bug at one point in time where I put something on there that I could not get back, and I pretty much soft-locked the game. I feel like it is possible to, like, put a quest item on there. Okay, you can get it back. I don't know, I swear I've done that before, and it was something I wasn't allowed to pick back up. Anyway, this is gonna be rough without more light spells. I'm tempted to just go get some and warp back here, but... well, warp out of here to get some and then walk back here, but that sounds way too tedious. So, I guess we'll just have to make do with one. I wish they lasted a bit longer. Well... kablooey. I don't think there's any way to know whether a sarcophagus is going to bust open with a skeleton inside. I guess next time I'll take a closer look at it. One that I know is different. Maybe you can see the cracks ahead of time. But we got a fearsome looking blade. They say this weapon eats the souls of its victims. The Soul Reaver.
Here's some more ore.
Some mo- oh. I still haven't gotten the other guilds up to this point yet, but I suppose at some point I should show what it's like trying to fight ghouls with melee weapons, because, boy, does the magic bullet really not demonstrate how much of a nightmare they are. Oh, Danilo. Seems you did not make it. We got a map of the temple, which is nice. Well, there isn't really a whole lot left in this direction, but we ain't found the brother yet. We did find another bust. There's at least one more ghoul down here, possibly two. Well, there's the bastard now. Oh, he's stupid. Didn't even move. Okay, it was just the one bastard. Suppose I'll get my torches on since I'm out of the light spells. And what do we have in here?
Looks like you could use some help.
And help's what you've given. The moment you opened that damn grate, I was here in the burial chambers with Danilo when those things ambushed us. I made it down here. Somehow, I triggered some mechanism that closed the grate behind me. Spent a lot of my life in caves. Thought I was gonna die in one.
You fled, eh? I thought you could take care of yourself.
I'm not proud, but you do what you can to survive, right? I'd known these creatures were down here, I'd have taken precautions. Did you know these things were here?
I mean, it's a deep, dark cave in the middle of an ancient buried temple. I would assume something terrifying's down here, and I would have come prepared. Granted, you came with an armed escort who did not seem up to the task, so...
What have you found so far?
Not much. Just this bust. Looks like it's part of a mechanism.
How about I take that bust off your hands?
Why would I want you to do that, huh? Why would I want you to do that for less than 500 gold?
Didn't know you were a comedian. First I save your life, and then you try and rip me off.
You're very irritable. Must be all the stale air down here.
So how about you try another answer?
If it weren't for you, I would have died with it. So sure, the thing's yours.
Very good. Glad you came to your senses. Otherwise, that door might have found its way shut again. Alright, well, there's 3 busts. Hopefully there's no more than 3 altars.
Your brother Ulf is alive and kicking.
You're a good one. Thank you. Once we get out of here, I'll reward you for your troubles.
At least someone will.
Danilo's dead. I found his body in one of the caves.
Oh no! What do we do now?
I need your help. I have to know what's going on in the temple.
If you really want to play the hero, go right ahead. I won't stop you. But don't think I'm coming with you.
I'm not asking you to, but I do need you to stay here, make sure nothing comes in after me.
I'll do that. I'll stay right here.
Good. Seems like the least I can expect. Perhaps we'll finally find the true origin of these mysterious ruins. The secrets of the hidden temples. A nautilized spell. Isn't that nice? A very obvious trap. Unfortunately, this one's a double wide, which means we ain't leapfrogging over this one. No, sir. So, what do we got? I don't see any mysterious rings on the walls. So it appears we need another answer. There's a nautilus spell in here. I don't see anywhere to use it. Except right here. I don't remember 100% of the little pseudo-puzzles in these dungeons. So bear with me if it takes some time to remember them. Let me get this out and on the ground so we can see a bit. Actually, I know one of these is going to bust open, so let's get a gander. None of them look different. That one blue. It is neat that they were able to make the breakable ones kind of seamless like that. Normally when something's gonna, you know, burst into 1,000 pieces, you can see the seams and the textures. It does annoy me a bit that the light spell is not as potent a light source as a torch is. I say we disable this trap now. Should be a means to do so. Otherwise, I'll probably forget on the way out of here. And that will be an awkward trip. Man, we just keep going deeper. I like how a lot of the animations for, like, opening things change if you have the torch out. Like, normally you would push the sarcophagus lid with both hands. But with the torch out, he just pushes it with sort of his forearm. Just a little touches like that. Well, we're back into some ruins. Man, these almost seem like dwellings of sorts, although that does not look like the most comfortable bed I've ever seen. So I feel like even if you had like an underground society living in stony dwellings below the earth, you'd probably find something more reasonable to make your bed out of than solid stone. Sure, you could put a mattress on top, but you want something with a little more give than that. Now here, it opens up into something quite large. And we got bony boys. Quite a few of them. I need to retreat. And we go ham. The doorway strats never fail. And I can see something moving up there. The likes of which we've never seen before. A lizard. Now these boys are pretty much the, I would say, ow, oh god, that hurt so much. suppose you could consider them like the orc equivalent of this game. Although there were lizard men that were orc adjacent in Gothic 2. But they would seem to be an unforeseen antagonist. A very mysterious find. Great. Apologies. I still do a terrible job of keeping my hard drive empty. Or at least with enough space to get a full recording. But yes. The lizard folk, they seem perhaps to have something to do with these ruins. Now, that's the only lizard man we find down here. But it will not be the only one we see. And it elucidates the nature of those busts we found a little bit. Since they had somewhat of a reptilian appearance to them. Although an upright sort. Curious why there's so many human skeletons wandering around down here. And also, that lizard fellow did not appear to be particularly undead. And yes, I did strike first. For those who maybe see that as a little unreasonable, well, go ahead and try and have a conversation with him yourself. And you saw how much damage he dealt. These lizard men may possibly cast ice spells, but I only know that they cast the fireball spell. I think they may also use the magic bullet sometimes. Well, well, well. Don't know what awaits over there, but we gotta do us afloat. I always mix up the levitate spell with the healing spells for some reason, because they both have wings. Anything spooky? Berserker. Got a rune. Oh god, I jitter. Good thing they give you a levitate spell for the way back. If you were really caught in a lurch, somehow didn't have that, you always have the fail-safe of just using a teleport stone. Speaking of, we got one for the Eastern Temple. We could use that as our quick way out of here. A bit curious that they give you one, because you really never have a reason to come back here. I think they presume you use it because old Adan here did not wait for us inside like we told him to.
What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Here. You were supposed to watch my back.
There were noises coming out of the tunnel. I thought they'd got you too, and I was next.
Noises? That was me. I was fighting down there. What were you doing?
I was... You can't blame me. People are killed round here.
You keep panicking, you'll get yourself killed. Or someone else. Right. Tell me what you found in the temple.
Nothing much. A few gold coins.
Give them to me.
But they're mine.
You didn't earn them.
All right, if you insist.
Damn right.
The excavation.
You dig, you don't. Dig, you don't. Dig, you don't. That's the game.
I dig.
Find one thing, it's better than nothing. Here, you should get part of it.
Damn right.
There was a leaf. Men built this temple.
There are a lot of idols.
This temple.
There are a lot of idols.
This temple.
There are a lot of idols and totems with lizard feet there. You think that place is full of? Them? I don't know about you, but the idea of being knee-deep in lizards, ones that can build things like that temple's full of, that thought's not going to help me sleep at night.
As if this island didn't have enough nightmares.
Indeed.
And get the chance for the tour, did I? Chance for the tour, did I? There's some tunnel and a lot of... I think I'm gonna steer clear of caves for a while. Stick to the surface, you think?
Yeah, but there's no treasure or adventure in that. Where they says a lot of lizards. We only saw one, and none of you saw it.
I assume you didn't get very far with the excavations.
No. Other than an old bust, I wasn't able to find anything in the time I had between being an idiot and ending up here.
Fair enough.
And one fellow who didn't make it out, weirdly, was the one who seemed to be itching the most to get out of here. I don't know why you stuck around.
So he's dead.
No. What did it? And is it coming out here? Let's gather up everything we found so far and go. Now.
There are lizard men in there. Have you seen any out here?
What? A lizard man? What are you talking about?
There's at least one down there. He was wearing the robes of a priest.
Do you think there are any more? You think they're going to come out here?
Yes, on both counts.
And I'm here in the front line. You should see those white robes in the monastery. If anyone knows more about these things, it would be them, I reckon.
You can pack your stuff. I have what I came for.
That's the first good news I've heard since we got here. I'll get right to work. Someone should report the trouble here to Fincher.
That's your job.
No way. It'd be like signing my own death warrant. He'll send me right back to breaking rocks in the ruins.
So I get the task, do I? Great.
I mean, you act like he's not going to send you back there anyway. You failed his mission here. Just because you weren't the one who delivered the bad news doesn't mean he's not going to be annoyed with you. Anyway, that's about it down here. I always found it strange that they keep talking about how, you know, they think more lizard men are going to come out of those ruins, when we explored pretty much every inch of it, and there were no more to be found. But I did mention that doing that temple is where things start to change on the island. And as it turns out, that change is, in fact, lizard men appearing across the island. So yes, it seems like that statement was true. And these lizard men that you find dotted around carry the teleport runes to sort of intermediate parts of the island. So this one's handy to get back here. And the only one I remember off the top of my head is actually back near the Don's camp. Actually, near enough to Fincher. I don't think the Don cares about anything we found, but I'm checking on him anyway. Fincher was the one running the show, so he's the one who needs to know.
Your mother, Tilda, is worried about you.
Oh, she's always worried. That woman makes my life a misery.
Okay. Clearly she's got nothing to be worried about.
I thought I had already done that. In fact, didn't we complete that quest? I'm confused.
Why are you bothering me?
Good question. Let's go bother Fincher instead.
The Eastern Temple has been opened.
Excellent. And what have you found there?
Not much. I think you were expecting more.
Seems the wind never blows in our favor. We'll have to keep looking for our windfall, eh? What about my men? Where is Danilo?
Some of them got caught in trouble down there. Danilo didn't make it.
Why did they all warp
He was
right
killed
here?
in the Eastern Temple.
Damn. He was a good man.
What the fuck?
What?
I've never seen that happen before. I don't know why they all warped here. And I don't know where they're going. Well, have fun, guys. Well, they must be, like, going back to the camp or something? To, like, the bandit camp? Because I've actually never considered... I don't think I ever paid attention to where they end up after that. But anyway. Around here. There should be some more lizard men. I appear to be mistaken. Oh, there they are. I was gonna say, some of them don't show up until an even later chapter than this. We should be able to get most of the locations now. Behold. Now, if you do the Eastern Temple early, that can save you a bit of annoyance. Getting, like, the, I guess it really doesn't help for the treasure hunt part quest either. And there's even more down here. You end up with some that are very close together, kind of weirdly. But might as well nab it while we're here. Now, the lizard men, fighting them in melee, which, again, I'll have to catch up the other guilds so I can show that off a bit. Fighting them in melee is a bit of an ordeal because they have, I'd say, even less telegraphed animations than normal human NPCs do. So, countering their moves can be really frustrating. But that's about all we got. We have but one crystal disc left to find. And even though it was suggested we head here to figure out what these lizard men are about, I'm not sure anyone has anything to say. If anyone would, it would be Inquisitor. And he says not. So that's that, I'm afraid. Next episode, we will have to head back in that direction. There's the bridge to the Geiger Island. The suspicious hut that we would have seen had we gone just a bit further. And we've basically got that whole area there and that bit of a creek down there to explore next time. But I'll do a little bit of housekeeping off screen. Why is there a hole in the world? Why is there a hole in the world? I've never seen that happen before. Somehow that whole texture just went missing. Everything went missing. What in the goddamn happened? What happened? Where'd the monastery go? Explain yourself. We're having a weird day. I've never seen this happen before either. Oh dear. Thought I was actually falling off the world. Yeah, even just objects are disappearing. Oh, that's just because there's supposed to be a wall. We got some occlusion culling going on here, but that ain't working right. Well, this is a strange way to end it. Hopefully the world comes back into being next time. Till then, have yourselves a wonderful week, stay safe, stay healthy, and goodbye.